Hey, shalom, shalom. Giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings, salutations to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which hold the conduct, composure, and integrity. All right, just Brother Yaakov, just doing a quick lesson. Hey, shalom, Makdeh, Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Brakatah. I was just doing a lesson, man, while I drive to camp. Well, actually, I got to go past it today, but just want to do a lesson while driving, okay? And what the title says, a time to be alive and preaching. You know, originally I wanted to do teach, but preaching is more appropriate because to preach is something that you proclaim, all right? And also preaching is what you do on the behalf of another's authority. All right, so something got me thinking, man, because a brother made a brother made a video the other day, and it was titled "What a Time to Be Alive," and it got me thinking. You know, the scriptures say that what you hear and what you speak in ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. You know, this is going to how this time is the time to be alive. This is the time where it all matters, it all counts the most. All right, this is where you should put the most of your strength to in this time in regards to the truth. All right, because something I was thinking about earlier, you know, we've heard about these attempts to try to bring the white man down. You know, Jake got tired of Esau and, you know, try to mount up attacks and revolts, you know, but it never worked. But then, you know, but the reason we didn't understand why was because there was a time appointed, you know, where someone else was gonna, it was gonna be done by someone else's power and authority in hand. That being Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So, you know, I got me thinking again, like all these other attempts failed, you know, because it wasn't the time. But we know that now is the time. All right, Romans, the 13th chapter, where it says that for now is our salvation more near than when we believe. Now is the time, man. Now it even tells you it's like the Corinthians. All right, chapter 6 and verse 2. All right, it says that now is the day that has been accepted. Now is the day that I can secure thee. I have heard thee in the day. Let me go and get that precept, actually. That's actually going to line up beautifully with what I'm trying to get at. All right, this is, hold on, let me type it up. Hold on. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. It says, for he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted. A time that is accepted is now. Okay? The time to be alive, the greatest time to be alive right now is now. And while you're here being alive, you should be here putting forth all your strength, going out to teach. All right? Because the Lord does command, in this time especially, man, every able-bodied Israelite that is a man should be out in the highways and hedges, man, helping the Lord bring this devil down by the foolishness of preaching. Okay? Because like I said, in this time, this is the time to do it. It wasn't the time when, you know, the freedom fighters came out. It wasn't the time when the Black Panthers tried to mount up. All right, the MLK movement, you know, wasn't the time. Okay? You had other various times throughout history where Jacob tried to, you know, really come out of their captive state, you know, but it never worked. But now is the time. We're in that time. So you should be wanting to promote and proclaim this, man, everywhere you go. Okay? You know, I've been talking to a brother. I talked to a brother last night about, you know, when me and the bro that I was with back in Texas, man, were coming up in this truth. It got to a point where, you know, we were hardcore, you know, studying and all that. But, oh no, when we started getting really into the preaching, you know, we had been out there already for a long moment already. But I remember both him and I both agreed one day, like we wished that we could have just dropped everything and just stood out there all day, just reading, preaching. You know, like that's the spirit that the Lord put on a lot of us brothers, man. And it's still, you know, that spirit is on us still, but we understand we gotta moderate and balance. Okay, because it's impossible for us to preach 24/7, man. We gotta rest. We got jobs, you know, to get our daily bread and sustain, to go out some more. But, you know, I was thinking about it, like the time to be alive is right now. The time where the Lord has heard us, is hearing us, where works are being done, miracles are being performed, that's this time. It didn't work in the 60s with the certain movements that Jake was trying to fight for, you know, Jacob. You know, trying to get freedom rights, trying to be seen as equal. All right, trying to be able to vote. I mean, I personally don't understand the concept behind what it shows voting. But, you know, all these things in the past didn't deliver us because it wasn't the time. When you go into Genesis, the 49th chapter, it tells you that until Shiloh come, we were going to be in this captive state. And Shiloh is Yahweh Shai, because Shiloh means peace. And the peace of all things, and the end of all wickedness, and the beginning of all things of peace is going to be when Yahweh Shai takes over the kingdom. He takes over the earth again. He puts down Esau. He puts down the wicked of the people. Okay? It tells you in Revelation what is that, 11 and 15? That the kingdom of this world have become the kingdom of our Lord. When Yahweh Shai takes, you know, destroys everything the way he's supposed to and delivers the elect, all right, that's his kingdom. Okay? And it's going to only be through Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, that this world is going to go down and we're going to be delivered. All right? I had a precept in my mind. It's slipping my mind right now. Oh, Acts, the 17th chapter. Okay? I don't want to get too far of a point, but this is a good scripture just to back up what I said. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Reaching in my bag real quick. Just bear with me real quick. All right. This is Acts chapter 17, all right, in verse 31, it says, because he hath appointed a day, all right, which that's talking about Yahweh. Yahweh has appointed a day, so he's scheduled out a day, in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he hath ordained. Who is that man that Yahweh hath ordained? Yahweh Shai. All right, it tells you that all power and authority was given to Yahweh Shai. All judgment was given to him as well. All right, so the Lord Yahweh is going to use his son to do his bidding. All right, and just to throw out a jab, the same way that he bids other spirits to do things. The main one, Satan. All right, which works through the left-hand side of the power of the Lord, and he uses Satan to control wicked vessels, which is the so-called white man. All right. So anyway, just putting that out there. But it says, because he had appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he hath ordained, which is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right. Whereof he had given assurance, which means a most certain confidence, so very plain. He had given assurance unto all men, and that he had raised them from the dead. All right? And when Yahweh Shai comes back in his glory, that's definitely going to, cut the scoffers. All right? Because believe me, man, you're not going to question who this being is coming from the heavens. All right, you're gonna know. You know, especially those that, you know, scoffed at him. You know, these other camps and groups and other, you know, bug outs. All right. But going back to my point of this lesson, man, that man who's gonna dish out the judgment from Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai, who's gonna be doing the dishing. He's commanded us, man, to work in this time, and we have every reason. We have every reason to want to go out and do what he's telling us to do. He's liberating us, man. He's given us signs and wonders and shown miracles, man, by waking your, you know, simple ass up. All right, because that's a miracle. And everything he's done up to this point, man, should give you no room for excuses to why you shouldn't be doing the work. You had some guys who fell out, man, who's, you know, want to make these comments like, well, the Lord's not going to judge you, or you're not going to be saved by going out to the highways and hedges, or you're not going to be saved by the amount of videos you do. You're right, but that don't fucking matter, man. What matters is that we've been told by our husband to do something, and we're supposed to do it. We're not supposed to sit there and have a conversation. Well, I don't think that, you know, it's the time to be doing it right now, or well, you're still gonna deal with me. Rather, you know, no, man, that's not how it should be. Your Lord is telling you to do something, man, so you got to do it. There ain't no such thing as taking breaks, man. And again, taking from someone who made a video, you know, revealing certain things that I did coming up in this truth. All right. I have firsthand experience and knowledge of assurance that not doing the work is the worst thing you can do at this time. There ain't nothing in this world that should that should supersede your logic in doing the work. Nothing. Your children, your woman, it better not be over no damn woman, man. For real, man. If Jake falls out to a woman this time, man, get prepared to get laughed at, because that's fucking simple. But if you fall out over the petty shit of the world, and you try to justify it by saying that the Lord gives you different walks of life, or this and that, or there was minor prophets that you never heard about. Every prophet of the Lord preached. All right? Every prophet. Okay? And like I said, I can tell you what it's like not doing the work, because I didn't do it at one point in time. I stopped doing it, and the Lord fucked me up, man. Fucked me up. To this day, I still have these memories of certain, you know, definitive proofs that under no circumstances is stopping the work, stopping doing the work. Under no circumstances are you to do that. All right, we are commanded to work in this time, occupy. All right, and like I said, you should have every ounce of motivation to want to do it, because of the things that you see. All right, Lord willing that you have understanding. Lord willing you can spiritually discern. Now, if you can't, then yeah, you're not going to get it. But there's been many reasons of why. There's many motivational reasons why you can get your ass out there, man, and shake it for the Lord. All right, He's answered our prayers. He's heard the cry of Israel. He's casting the devil down. All right, he's taking Satan down, man. He's taking Esau down. All right, he's translating the kingdom from one people to another, which is the end of Esau and the beginning of us, man. And we see it. We see it happening. We see the prophecies unfolding. All right, little by little, man. With the CBDC, man, you see how they're using these other little strategies to constrain your rights. But they have one ultimate device that they want to put out where it's going to be the most, you know, strangling device, and that's the MOTB. All right? But we've been assured through the scriptures that when you see these things, that you know that the Lord is right around the corner. So this you should want to be out there, man. You should be like, fuck yeah, he's fucking coming back. Let's get out there, man. Let's preach for him. Hell, call on Yahweh Shema Shai. Hell yeah, man. He's on his way. And he's going to jack you motherfuckers up. You know? Repetitiveness doesn't tire, man. The desire or passion to master whatever it is that you're trying to master, passion never dies. So what's your excuse for falling away? The Lord didn't find you, acceptable. How do you know? How do you know, man? When a man stops doing the work, that's because you chose to do that. You chose to stop doing the work, not him. But the Lord will give a man what he desires, and he will give a man to what he likes. So if you don't want to, if you like not doing the work and you think that that's smart, well then you're not going to do the work. The Lord has no he don't have time for a man with excuses. And again, take it from someone who had a lot of excuses. When I wasn't going out, like I said, I was doing videos. I was putting up videos for a good minute. I was doing them every day. But that isn't enough. All right? How do you present your body a living sacrifice inside of a house? All right? Now you could say, well, the time that's really going to matter is when Esau comes in like a flood and he busts him out down my door and he asks me if I believe. Okay, but no, man. You're justifying your wickedness. Paul said the necessity of preaching the gospel was laid upon him, man. He acknowledged and admitted that he had no choice. Ezekiel, when he was told to speak to the dry bones, he said, so I preached as I was commanded. We've been commanded to do this. So what is your reason for not going out, man? To all of the nation of Israel, you able-bodied Israelites, man, what is your excuse? In this time, you can't say that you're a coward or you're not, or you got a woman or you got to take time out. No, man. We all have our problems. We all have our situations. We all have scenarios. We all have the affairs of life. But that is not enough to supersede you doing the work. All right? Take an example real quick. I'm headed up. I'm driving an extra hour to go help a brother, man, fix his car. And I said in the beginning, I'm headed on my way to camp. The brother lives 45 minutes away outside of the city where we preach. But his car is not working. I got to help him fix it. So we're going to miss camp. But we already both agreed we're gonna set up and do our little camp after we're done. See, you can't be letting shit get in the way of doing the work, man. Now, sometimes I'll tell Jake, like, I'm not coming up here just to see y'all. Like, that's the second reason. I'm not coming up here to see Jake. I'm coming up here to do the work with Jake. Otherwise, I have no reason to really come around unless I lived closer. I come up here to do the work with Jake on Saturdays every other weekend. All right, so I drive 2 hours and 47 minutes to do the work with them. I don't make no excuses. We don't make it, the brothers don't make no excuses to get to camp. All right, and we do the work. What, you got other brothers, man, that drive to their camps. I knew a brother I went to one time. Well, he ain't a brother no more. I mean, the Lord deal with him, the Lord deal with him. But he used to drive 4 hours. Well, he used to drive 3.5 hours to pick up one brother and an extra hour to go to camp. So he drove 4 hours every week to go to camp. Didn't hear no excuses out of him ever. But, one thing I've done with my life too, man, is I never allow my job or things that I do throughout the week, I never allow them to get in the middle of me doing the work. Like, and the water Yahweh Shema Shai, because it was only through Yahweh Shema Shai that I was able to do this. But I've never had a job where I had to work Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes I've worked a little bit of overtime, and I told my job, like, I'm not going to work every weekend. I'll work occasionally. know, I mean, I made my own personal decision, which whatever Jake does, do it with wisdom. But me personally, man, I would quit a job if they tried to do that shit on me, man. And I'd go find another one. Because I'm not going to let a job get in the way of me having to do the work. Now, I have had a couple of jobs where I did work. I had to stay back in my city because I was going to be working those weekends, and I would still do the work. But nothing hindered me from doing the work, except during the time where I stopped doing it. And that was because of me. I hindered myself. All right? But you should have no excuse why you're not working at this time, man. Isn't it weird how you can run for all these years and do the work, and all of a sudden you think you ain't got to? Or life gets the best of you? That's because you got to adjust your life. All right? Jake needs to learn to adjust. All right? Certain mentalities you got to run with is the process of mind that you can never allow your affairs to overrule how you maneuver in the truth. All right? And that's just the truth. Okay? If you see yourself lacking or not as interactive with this truth as you were, as you've been, then you gotta relook, you gotta adjust, you gotta remaneuver. All right? And sometimes you may have to make a considerable adjustment. Younger Jake, man, don't understand that you might have to change up a job, man, if it's taking up all your time. But because we got things to measure if your mind is really towards this thing. That's why we have the videos. That's why we have the communication. All right? That's why we have the work. If you can make it and do those things, all right, it lets us calculate better that, okay, you are trying, but if there's still something wrong, then that becomes a thing where we got to get to the bottom of it. Ain't nothing, But if you're in this truth and you haven't no work put in, man, then there's something wrong. And it's you that needs to fix yourself. All right? But going back to my original, the scriptures talk about us proclaiming this truth upon the housetops. All right, you should. We're so joyous and happy that this is the final rule and downfall of all wicked things, man. All things that are offend are going to be casted down, and peace is going to be a prominent factor forever. It should be something worthy of talking about all the time. Okay, I put up a video earlier with Nate pushing some bullshit. Now that's topics. Now we got even more to talk about again. Circling back to the heathen, they're gonna be in the kingdom with us, but they're gonna be in order, and they're gonna be under us, and they're gonna be serving us. And the Lord's gonna deal with them too before He puts that ultimate rule back over them under us. All right, because they got to pay for some shit that they've done too, man. All right, these other nations ain't exempt. All right. But yeah, man, there's plenty to go out to the highways and hedges and proclaim, just to teach, to preach, all right, to correct, all right. So don't be coming with that weak energy of thinking that you ain't got to do the work. The scriptures say, repent from whence thou art fallen and do the first works, man. Get up and do that work. All right, so. Short video. Like I said, I'm driving, so hey, Lord willing, was edifying. But with that, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rukakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone which rule well. All right, peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, which hold them kind of composure and integrity. And Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Brakatham, Kom Mesha Allah Shalom.